Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the summary for the day of 730 for the 23rd of February. First thing first is this major news that broke out yesterday was the destruction of yet another Russian A-50 AWACS plane. So AWACS is basically radar plane. So this radar plane is basically the second of his second to be shot down in just I think over a month or two. And this radar planes for Russia is very rare. They don't have a lot of them. So the loss of this kind of radar plane is very huge. In terms of the consequence for the Russian operations. And so far there is still no clarity in terms of how it got shot down. There is rumors about being shot down by Patriot systems, but if you look at the distance, it could 200 to 300 kilometers, maybe. It's kind of dragging it a little bit, stretching it a little bit, but it is possible. And according to the story by Raiba, one of the claims is that there was 2 missiles that were shot towards this A-50. One of them was intercepted, but the other one hit the target. And there's also other stories basically saying that due to the interception of decoy missiles, as a result, the Russians actually shot down their own plane. So very confusing. So that given this kind of thing, the Russian Defense Ministry is unlikely to acknowledge the loss of this aircraft or report about it. So we're going to not hear much about this from now on. So, but this is actually reported and announced by the Ukrainian side, the official side. They actually did talk about this. But they also did not talk much about how it got shot down, so it is what it is. Anyway, let's move on away from that boring subject over to the southern front. On the Kherson front, there is still a Ukrainian Defense Ministry report about Russians trying to dislodge Ukrainian units from the bridgeheads on the southern bank of the Dnipro River. And we are not clear if it's at Krinky. It is possible to be at Krinky because most of the fighting is actually simply geolocated over there. So we will continue to monitor and see, if the Ukrainians actually have totally withdrawn away from Krinky, as per the Russian claims, or they have been entirely destroyed, or they are actually still there. So we will continue to monitor, but basically DPA's position is that the Ukrainians are still at Krinky, be it's 10 soldiers or 20 soldiers, they are still there. So we will continue to wait and see how this progress. There is there's an airstrike reported at the Shelyakove, and there's another airstrike reported at Borislav. So there is 2 airstrikes around here. So a bit suspicious why there is this attack in this area here. Could there be some kind of accumulation of Ukrainian forces trying to do something new, maybe attack into Kakhovka or something? No, so we do not know. So we will continue to monitor and see how this progress. And we move on away from the Kherson front into the Zaporizhia front. Over at the Zaporizhia front, at the Zaporizhia front, there's nothing to report on the Kayamsky sector. We move into the Orikhiv sector. So this is the Orikhiv sector. This is Orikhiv. And further south, over at this salient, the Orikhiv salient, basically where the Ukrainians have conquered this piece of land from during the Ukrainian counteroffensive. The Russian forces is still on the counteroffensive, with fighting reported towards Robotine, within Robotine itself, and on the western part of Verbove. So yesterday we already mentioned of the huge capture and of the grounds from the Ukrainians, but tentatively there's still no corroboration just yet. A geolocation of Ukrainian forces getting hit by drones in the trenches. There's this major entrenchment around here. So this video is unclear when it was taken. It could be dated before the Russians storm into the southern part of Robotine. And so we have to continue to wait. So definitely there's something in need of corroboration to see whether the Russians are actually indeed in this area here and have they actually conquered all these areas. So until corroboration, this is just a one-sided claim. Ukrainian front line is still looks like this, not like this. This is the Russian mapping. So that's all from the Orikhiv sector. Nothing over the Huepole sector, and that's it from the Zaporizhia front. We move into the Donetsk front. So this is the Donetsk front. At the Donetsk front, at the Velika Novosibirsk sector, as mentioned in the frontline changes report, no. And the Russian forces have taken grounds over in the northern part of Prione. So otherwise, there's no other reported fighting in this area here. And we move further on to the Prashestivka, Zolotaneva region. There was no reported fighting around this area. However, there is the geolocation of Ukrainian forces, probably taken some grounds as per the frontline changes report that could be relating to the Ukrainian offensive reported on the 19th to the 20th of February, so a few days ago. So it could be related to that. And there is still, counter battery fires fighting over in the north western part of Prashestivka, so counter artillery actions. And over in the northern part of Voleda, there was geolocation of Russian airstrikes on Ukrainian position at Vodian. So pretty much it become positional again. The fighting around here has become a positional warfare. And over at the Marinka sector of this front line, Russian forces are still trying to push out of Boyeda. Fighting is still reported over there, and there is fighting reported at Novomikhailivka. Surprisingly, no fighting is being reported at Georgivka. So so we will continue to monitor the situation at Boyeda. Might reverse. We may never know. The Ukrainians may counterattack because the Russians did enter Boyeda before, or Pobeda before, and around more than a year ago. So it's not a guarantee that they would be able to hold the ground. So we'll continue to monitor and see how this goes. And over at Krasnohorivka, there is a geolocation of Russian airstrike. So it was quite a big explosion. As you can see, it is a rather huge bomb hitting the industrial areas, industrial zone over at Krasnohorivka. In this area here, some very big explosion. So it was described to be a Ukrainian deployment site. So we will see how this goes. I don't think whatever site is called is not very relevant. And over in the northwestern part, Lancet attack on a Ukrainian artillery system, northwestern part of Krasnohorivka. So that's about it. I think that's all from the Donetsk front. And we move on into the Avdiivka front. At the Avdiivka front, so this is the Avdiivka front, and this is Avdiivka city that has been captured by the Russian forces. The Russian forces continue their Avdiivka offensive. This time around, fighting is being reported at Stepove, Lashtoshkine, Zhivane, Pervomayske, and Nevelske. So this is the current strategic situation over at the Avdiivka front. And of significance is the appearance of Abrams tank over in the front line of Avdiivka. So near Stepove, there is the appearance of the Abrams. This is posted by Deep State U8. Is also being published over by other OSINT, open source intelligence. You can see the Abrams tank rolling up in the snow. I'm not sure if it's still snowing right now. So if it's not snowing right now, then this could actually be a dated footage. It may not actually be a current footage. So this is important to note. And so basically, he just recorded it driving down this road, open fire on Russian positions, and then basically it's scooted. So it's a correct way of using the tank. So the tank is not supposed to bash through, and then like some Dragon Ball superhero. No, that's not how you use a tank. And so that's all. Previously, there was already another Abrams related vehicle that was destroyed. Basically, it was a demining vehicle that is actually based on the Abrams chassis. So yeah, so the destruction of the demining vehicle already show that Abrams tanks in terms of its armor or its vehicle type can be destroyed. So Ukrainians will have to be careful when they use the Abrams tanks. So it's interesting to see them in action, but also could be a sign of desperation because they're running low on main battle tanks. So that could also be another way of interpreting this information. Russians still have no breakthrough over Lashtochkine. They still pretty much not have success. The Russian presence at Giverny continues. There is no signs of the capture despite the rumors on some pro-Russian channels or something. So I do not know. I only saw my trusted media talk about it, but no. Yep. So that's it for the Avdiivka front. We move on. There's nothing over at the New York front. We move into the Bakhmut front. So this is Bakhmut city, and in the southern flank of the Bakhmut front, there was no report about any fighting. Very interesting. But however, there is a lot at the Ivanivka region. The Russian forces basically, as per the frontline changes report I've mentioned, attack from the north, and they attack from the east in the southern part of the eastern part of Ivanivske. From what I think, the Russian forces is going to line up the front line along the settlement and actually able to hit into the rear or even launch encirclement or something. But this is going to be difficult because there is major forest in this area here, and forest regions usually is very defendable. So I don't think they're going to go very far. They probably will enter through the main road over here, and another force is going to continue to push and engage the Ukrainians over in the southwestern part of Ivanivske and attack through to the rear of Ivanivske. I believe that is a feasible thing to do. So we will continue to see the Russian envelopment of Ivanivske before they do an all-out attack into the city itself or the town itself. So anyway, that's all from the Ivanivske region. In the rear position, there is some artillery strikes and some lancet attacks being geolocated, not very important. And that's it from the Bakhmut front. Moving into the Siversk front, this is the Siversk city. And at the Siversk front, there's no fighting being reported in this area, only geolocations. As per the frontline changes report, some Russian attack being geolocated in the southeastern part of Vimka. And there's another geolocation at Rozdolivka of Ukrainian forces getting hit by a thermobaric missile barrage. And over at the Bilohorivka region, there is also artillery shelling of Ukrainian forces at the Bilohorivka itself. There's another one which I didn't map in. Is actually also a thermobaric missile barrage on Ukrainian positions over in the Chok Hill. But generally, this is not important. Important thing is that it only denotes Ukrainian forces' presence in this area here. So that's all. From the Siversk front, we move into the Kreminna front. So this is Kreminna city. At the Kreminna front, fighting continues only in the region of Terny and Yampolivka. Ukrainian forces counterattack at Terny. There is again no attack being reported in the Severyansky forest region. So I wonder what is happening over there. Did the Ukrainians totally retreat from that area, or what exactly happening? So we're not sure. So this is the strategic situation over at Kreminna front, and we move on. There's nothing over the Federated front. We move into the Kupiansk front. So this is Kupiansk city, and this is the Kupiansk front. At the Kupiansk front, fighting continues to be reported mainly in this northern sector of the front line, and Russian forces is being reported to be attacking Sinkivka as well as Petropolivka. So this Petropolivka. So this is the main attack vector. Ukrainian forces counterattack within the forest region towards Liman Pershi and on the western part of Sinkivka. So this is the strategic situation over the Kupiansk front. I don't expect much from this area here, so we will continue to monitor and see how this progress. Oh yeah, there's also attacks being reported at Sinkivka, a counterattack from the Ukrainians. Yeah, so this is the strategic picture, and that's it from the Kupiansk front. And zoom out, there is over the Kharkiv region, there is only one geolocation of airstrike on Ukrainian position, so-called. They say it is a warehouse over at Chorne, and that's it from the Kharkiv front, and that's it. So this is the summary for the day of 730 for the 23rd of February. Thank you for watching. Do press the like button. This time around I put the mic pretty near to me. I believe it sounds a bit different. There's a lot more bass to it, and I'm still sick, so I have to pause the recording quite a few times, just to clear my throat. So it's not that comfortable, and so if I don't put the mic so close, to make it sound like almost like a radio DJ kind of thing, if I put it a bit further, so it's gonna sound like this. So I mean, it's gonna sound a lot more like the old microphone, and it's still audible, definitely, but it doesn't sound so sexy. If I move closer to here, you can actually feel the difference, right? You can hear the bass, and yeah, my voice is actually a lot deeper than what you usually hear, but not by much. My voice is something like this. Anyway, yeah, and also I have the super panel with Willie OAM, History Legends, and Wild Siberia has already been published. So do check it out. It's a celebration of the 2 years anniversary, not celebration, commemoration. There's nothing to celebrate about. Commemoration of the 2-year anniversary of the Ukraine war, and of course this also means that today is the 2nd anniversary of the Ukraine war. It was premiered as on the more or less the same time as the Russians' invasion into Ukraine, which is why it's some weird time, early morning in Ukraine kind of time. So yeah, that's what I did for the last year's 1-year anniversary as well. So do check it out. I think you will enjoy it. It's a super epic panel. I personally love it a lot. And yeah, so do press the like button, subscribe, and make sure that you subscribe both sides, on the main channel and the war channel. So it's important to subscribe both sides. And of course, I may do a live stream later, also in relation to the 2 years anniversary, and also there might be a possibility, if I have the energy, to conduct the DPA open mic later today. So anyway, thank you for watching. Do press the like button, and yeah, depending on when you watch this video, the later today may sound very, very wrong. I'll see you guys in the next update.